Hi there. Hey, it's the old geek with tools, here with another product review. This one is not sponsored. It was purchased out of pocket after careful negotiation with my financial supervisor, that would be Mrs. Geek. I'm going to run through this and try to stick to kind of a standardized format here. We're going to talk about price and availability. Talk a little bit about the brand, quality, fit, form, and function. Durability, that's going to be an important one, especially with where we're starting here. And then the physical dimensions give you some idea of how this thing, how big it is, and how you go about how comfortable it is to hold on to, etc. Okay, today we're going to look at the Quinn 8-inch 45-degree bent long nose pliers. Throw some screenshots up here. On this screenshot you can see that I captured this on the 20th of April 2025, so that's kind of sets, if the price is different now, you get some idea of what it was on April 20th. We can see here we're talking about basically just an $8 pair of pliers. You might think that $8 pliers, it can't be very good quality, but hold that thought and let's just examine these a little closer. Well, you can see that the folks at Harbor Freight was recommending a comparison, and they compared it to the Knipex model 38-21-200, and so we'll pop that up here. I found that specific model on Amazon on the same day, April 20th, and on that day Amazon had it listed for $32.37. So essentially the same pliers. The only difference that I see is the Knipex has a 40-degree bend, whereas the Quinn has a 45-degree. But I kept looking, and of course, we noticed that the Knipex is listed at basically 4 times the cost of the Quinn. So obviously it's much higher quality, right? That's what we would believe. I kept looking, and I found another pair on the Home Depot, same day. It is also 8-inch long bent nose pliers. The grip has been dipped. It is not rated for electricity. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we can see the price there is $17.28 on that day. So, you know, it's about a little over double, just about double what the Quinn costs, but certainly not 4 times the cost. And then there was one final one. I kind of stopped looking after this. I'm sure there are more. I thought just a decent comparison. So I found this one. This is from Zorro, the Pros Kit model PM755. It was actually only about 50 cents more than the Quinn pliers. So I don't know. I didn't really look up what the shipping would be on that, but roughly it's the same price. So basically the information we covered here shows that by comparison of these similar products, you can buy one of these pairs of pliers for anywhere between $8 and $32. And it just depends on what you hope to get out of them, how you're going to use them, and so forth. We'll move on to brand. What do we know about the Quinn brand? According to internet searches I did, Quinn tools showed up first in Taiwan. In recent years, Taiwan has been noted to be upping their game on quality of tools and other products that's being provided to the U.S. But I can show you that the pliers we're looking at here today, these Quinns, clearly are marked as manufactured in China. But the package also clearly shows they're covered by Quinn standard lifetime warranty. So then moving on, Quinn tools started out in Taipei, Taiwan back in 1975, and you know, holy crap, that's the year I graduated from high school. That's a long time ago. Then I went to work for Uncle Sam in the USAF. Anyway, the Quinn Group showed up in the market again in 2010 as Quinn Co. And markets opened up in Southeast and Middle East Asia, Eastern Europe, and Africa. And then they branched out further in the early 2000s with products that were not focused on tools. They were items more like furniture, lighting, cleaning products, and so forth. So the company, in one form or another, has now been around for more than 50 years. So, something to consider. Popularity for this particular set of pliers. The day I did the screen capture, I noticed that there were 234 reviews of these pliers. And of those, 201 were 5-star ratings, and the remaining 33 were all 4-star. There were no 3s, 2s, or 1s. So pretty much everybody that had bothered to leave feedback was pretty favorable on the use. I'll admit I did use some AI magic to collect some feedback comments from Quinn tool users in general, just across the internet. And here's some generalities of what I got back. Quinn tools are generally considered to be user-friendly. They're ergonomically designed. DIYers and hobbyists like myself especially find their tools easy to use. Quinn tools for the most part are designed to be convenient, as in they're designed to work as intended. Now, in other words, you probably don't want to try to use these pliers as a hammer, but if you need to grip something for assembly, disassembly, or reach a hard to reach area, like behind that other thing, these should be perfect for you. Quinn tool saves the consumer money. Overall, Quinn tools are around half the price of comparable alternatives, and sometimes less. And finally, Quinn tools are considered to be adequately durable. In other words, when used as intended, they should last the consumer a long time. And with that said, one should probably not expect the same level of durability as a pair priced at 4 times the price of the Quinn tool. But unless you'll be using these in some kind of commercial application, they should last quite a long while. The next area to talk about is quality, which we kind of already covered, but the fit, form, and function part, our comparison here is an 8-inch pair of bent nose pliers with a wire cutter and coated handles. And so the 3 alternative tools I showed here today have the same basic features as our subject tool. The primary difference is the degree of bend of the jaws, or nose of the pliers. The Knipex pliers has a 40-degree bend versus 45. Crescent brand also has a 40-degree bend, but the ProSkip plier from Zorro had 45 degree. All 4 pairs included a wire cutter, and all 4 also had just coated handles. Okay, so here we go. None of them, Quinn included, have a voltage rating on the coating on the handles, so you should not consider them safe for use on live circuits. In fact, it's as you can see here, it's very clearly marked. Now I got my little cheapy microscope out, took some close-up pictures, and I wanted to re-emphasize that it's not for electric circuits. Moving on, I've had a saying for a long time: as much as a lot of folks think you cannot mandate common sense. So if you're using any of these tools on a live circuit, like 120 volts AC or higher, you're really working without a net, so to speak. Just don't do it. Pull a fuse, open a breaker, do something to keep yourself safe. Remember, if you do something crazy, you're the one they're going to call Sparky. It boils down to whether or not they're going to call you that posthumously. So I think that rounds out the fit, form, and function. So we're going to jump on to physical dimensions, and then maybe we'll do a quick discussion on durability. As indicated in the title, these pliers are 8 inches overall length. Handles are 2 inches wide at the widest point. The distance, or the space across the very tip of the long nose pliers, you can see here is 0.29 inches, basically 0.3 inches. And then measured, the other axis is 0.2 inches, top to bottom. back at the hinge point, at the pivot point, it's just under an inch wide, 0.95, and then it's just about a ½ inch thick at the hinge point. So with that TP microscope I got out, I took some close-up pictures. I thought you might enjoy those. There could be a hidden message here. I don't know. I'm not sure. You can see the teeth, the milling on the teeth really line up very well. And I got a shot of just with the jaw open, one side of the jaw. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Now, the camera I'm using really struggles with close-up, so we'll see if we can get it to focus. And I'm not going to belabor this too much. It'll either work or it won't. It's comfortable in the hand. It's appropriately sized. Looks like it would be very helpful to get in behind that thing. You need to get behind to make an adjustment. So I guess that brings us up to the last category, which is durability. From a perspective of a video-based review of a tool, durability is pretty subjective. I mean, if I was into doing destructive testing with run-to-fail criteria, I suppose I might come up with some useful numbers. However, as I said in the beginning, I paid for these out of pocket under the watchful eye of the team's CFO, and I'm not going to go around breaking tools that we paid for ourselves. And I suppose I could break them and try out that lifetime warranty, but there's that whole integrity thing. I just can't bring myself to intentionally take advantage of someone or some policy. So that's not in the cards. As far as final thoughts on this one, here we are. I told you all I know about this tool so far, and I do hope to conduct another review at some point in the future, so maybe a year out or 2 years possibly, and let you know how they held up. That's my goal anyway. I do tend to baby my tools. I wipe them down after every use. I re-lube the moving parts. I keep them in environmentally controlled area to the extent possible. And so when all of my tools are laid out on the hay rack someday down the road when I'm done with them, somebody's going to get quite a deal on them. As to the question whether or not I would buy them, yes, I did in this case buy it, and I'm happy that I did. They are inexpensive. This pair especially is not overly priced. So if you plan to use them for DIY projects, weekend warrior repairs, and the like, I think they're well enough made to last you for a long time. They feel good in the hand. They're useful for getting to that spring clamp or tight spot, turning a screw or nut behind that other thing that's in the way. So I know some people, for some unknown reason, are not Harbor Freight fans. So I checked, and you can buy these on eBay. And I did an internet search in my local area, and I come up with nearly a dozen local, like lumber yards and things like that, just private businesses that also carry this line of tools. They're not carried by the Home Depot. They're not carried by Lowe's. We don't have Menards down in our area. Heads up, Menards, we need you down here. Anyway, but in the private business sector, you can find Quinn tools, and so that's excellent. So let your search engine be your friend. I guess that's all I have for you this time. I appreciate you stopping by to watch, and if you made it all the way here, congratulations. You might as well hit that subscribe button and leave a comment, please. It helps the channel, really, more than you know. So thanks for watching. We'll get together next time. TTFN.